unfolds with laughter and cheer. Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. With rhythm and soul, in so many ways. Together we rise, through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on, feel the soulful flow. Look right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, southern life we taste. Southside meditated, fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Good morning, Marianas. Holy cow, what are we doing? It's a Saturday morning and it's 9:47 and it's a beautiful day, but what are you doing online? We'll get to that in a second. Hey, Saipan, Tinian, Rhoda, it is a beautiful day out here in Saipan. They said it wouldn't be great, but it's looking good. It's 84 degrees outside. Humidity up at the Saipan International Airport. It is 84% and dropping. It's more of an airport than an airfort, so let's get that straight. Also, we're looking at a pretty good day today. Even though it looks beautiful, we're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Mostly cloudy skies, high near 88, and winds out of the east, pretty nice. 40% chance of rain as the night goes on, and that's going to drop a little bit as we get closer to the evening. Tomorrow, it was going to be a beautiful day, but maybe all that weather that's making Guam unhappy is going to make its way up to Saipan tomorrow, because we're looking at more scattered showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny tomorrow. That's what is going on in this part of the world. But part of being connected to the world is what brings us on today, because we have a special guest calling long distance. I imagine he gets a better deal than most of us. His name is David Gibson. He is the CEO from IT&E, and we have him on. Good morning, David. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Brad. Thanks for having me. I spent most of the week in Saipan last week, and I'm returning on Tuesday. I hope you can send some of that weather down here this weekend.
I will get it sent right away. It's on the way. It's packaged.
We could use it.
Hey, so this is a special day. We don't normally do a whole lot of Saturday work unless it involves sports, but there's a lot going on, and we're lucky to have you, because we had the folks, we got a letter about from the folks from another company, and then there's this other competitive thing. But since it's the first time that you're on the show and that we've got you, let's find out about you a little bit, take advantage of that. So, David, maybe can you introduce yourself to our community, let us know a little bit about you?
No, absolutely. My name's Dave Gibson. I'm the CEO of IT&E. I joined the company, time has flown. It's almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
While I'm based in Guam, it's a not so hidden secret that I actually love coming out and spending time in the Marianas. Prior to joining IT&E, I've been in telecom for 30 years. By the way, I actually came from the Greater Boston area.
No kidding. So that has to make you a Patriots fan.
I mean, everyone should be a Patriots fan. Let's face that. Is there any other kind of fan?
Yeah, we'll give you a pass on that one. We'll give you a pass on that one. There's another red, white, and blue team a few miles away that I'm all about. It's not the Giants.
This is the Patriots' year. It's comeback season. This is comeback season.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll look forward to it. Hopefully it's better. I like your coach, and I hope you guys get it together a little bit better this year. But that's a good thing. Hey, getting things together. I know you guys have you started this program, the slogan of connections that matter and all that. And part of what you've been doing is trying to get the ability to connect more people with this new program. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about it. I mean, this is the thing that's been in the papers for the last couple of days about the whole broadband plan.
Yeah, so the concept of connections that matter, it ties together, two basic themes. The first is obviously technical in the sense that having a high reliability network, people being able to access the technology they need when they need it, is critical in our society. And then the other part is, what do you do with those connections? Because those are just as important, especially when you're out on the islands. So whether it's connecting with family around the world, or telehealth, telemedicine, e-commerce, those are, again, connections that matter. So really it really carries two themes, and that's really the way that, we run the organization. That's sort of the way that we treat our products, and we treat the relationships that we have with our customers.
Well, one of the reasons why, the reason why you're on right now is because we ended up seeing this message that you guys posted out on your Facebook page. There's a message from David Gibson, IT&E CEO. Well, we've got you in studio now. So you talk a little bit about this, the broadband office here, and what's going forward. So can you tell us a little bit about this message, and what are you trying to get out to everybody today?
Sure. Well, let me start with, by way of a little bit of background. So the federal government a number of years ago started a project called BEAD. The purpose of BEAD, excuse me, was to make sure that folks who are in underserved, primarily rural areas, have access to quality internet. So it's been recognized at the national level that lack of connectivity is really critical for everyone in the United States. So that's the birth of the program. Most recently, the Trump administration has picked up the ball with the program and decided that they were going to fast track it, which I think is ultimately a good thing, right? We've been waiting 4 years for funding to be released. The Trump administration, starting in early June, created a program, basically a program called Benefit of the Bargain. It was basically a fast track program for the grant. Us, along with two other bidders, and it's public information, GTA and Docomo, put in bids for connectivity to touch all of the residents in CNMI. We were provisionally chosen by the federal government to build an all underground fiber optic network that would touch virtually every resident in the Commonwealth. After that was announced, the broadband office opened up a comment period. So I think when you're talking about letters that are going around, I think in particular, the one that was first put in was from Docomo. Other providers, anyone in the public, other providers, bidders, any interested party can make comments. And Docomo decided that they were going to make comments and ultimately ask that we derail the bid. So Docomo was not one of the winning bidders. In fact, their bid was about 3 times higher than ours for fiber. But what they really wanted to do is continue with aerial technology, aerial infrastructure. Now, we've been in the Marianas now. Actually, this month, September, represents our 20th year in the CNMI. And our engineering philosophies, especially in the Marianas, is that network needs to be buried. You have 2 problems out here that are really critical. The first problem is the obvious one, where you have typhoons, very prone to typhoons. Anything that's on a pole is subject to coming off the pole and breaking. That's the first problem. But there's high winds everywhere in the world, right? What's unique about the Marianas is you're 6,000 miles away from the mainland. So when you think about, okay, network comes off of poles, well, you have to replace it. And if you're in Florida, you can get spools of cable or fiber within days. Out here, it can take upwards of 6, 7, 8 months. So it's not just about the vulnerability of the network, even though we think that's an important component. It's really about, what do you do when the network goes down? How do you procure what you need to be able to bring the network up, and how long does that take? So we're a firm believer in underground. The federal government, sees the uniqueness of the Commonwealth with regards to weather and the ability to maintain the network. For some reason, Docomo just has a very different position, both on fiber and both on as well as buried. So that's the genesis of their comments, and what will ultimately be, I think, a challenge that they're going to try to start.
Well, and so that's the thing. Like, when that Moar hit, I was working down the street with the folks over at Triple J, and a lot of our officers are over there. Like, I mean, trying to get in touch with our marketing folks and everything. And I remember it just being kind of a nightmare afterwards, trying to get connections. And because I was with you guys here, but my colleagues over there happened to be with the other guys. And they were experiencing that kind of thing, and they were saying for a long time afterwards that it was a bit of a headache. I think that would be an understatement.
Well, listen, I'm actually, I've been, as I said in the beginning of the call here, I've been in telecommunications 30 years. All but the last 2 years, I have done nothing but build aerial fiber networks. So I don't have a personal bias one way or the other. Most of my career has been in aerial fiber networks. But even I, a Patriots fan, is smart enough to know that when you're a small island in the middle of the Pacific that's subject to typhoons, you need to put it underground.
Well, so I get that. I went by, because I'm not an expert on any of this stuff at all. I just use your services. So I went on to AI, started asking a whole bunch of questions. Tell me the difference about this and that and the other thing. And I ended up finding that letter from the Docomo CEO from after the typhoon, where they were talking about going out and trying to put more into the underground because it's more storm resilient.
There's really no daylight between our companies, and that's evident by the quote from, I think, 2024. That in the Marianas, underground infrastructure is absolutely critical. In the last 20 years, IT&E has put in just over 130 miles of underground fiber between all three islands. So we recognize it, and I think our customers have recognized why it's important. Over the years, especially with the storms.
Well, I could see that too, and it makes sense. I mean, so that's why I think it was more interesting, like why anyone would want to go outside of that. I mean, even the utilities here, and when I was with the utility after we got hit by Sodalor, one of the mitigation plans with FEMA was burying certain sections of the lines. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but the mitigation was going to be the line from the power plant to the hospital, and then even up north, or down south, pardon me, by the airport, about burying all the power lines to all those different water wells. So in the event that we do get hit, we're not out of luck for a longer amount of time. And so your plan is burying all this stuff and getting that fiber all the way to the house.
Well, we've been provisionally awarded that plan, and that is our intention. We've mapped it out almost by the month for the next 4 years. Should our grant come through. By the way, this grant costs the taxpayers of CNMI absolutely nothing. This is 100% federal dollars. So, and this money, we say we're being awarded a grant. This money is going right back into the economy. We're going to be hiring like crazy. We always procure locally when we can. So this isn't just about enhancing broadband. This is also going to help the economy as well. But listen, we just want people, if they feel the underground is important, please email the broadband office and express support for that. I think what we're seeing, if I'm just being candid, is you know a big corporation that has sour grapes because they didn't win a fair bid, and they're going to, for whatever reason, they're going to try to stop the process and deprive the people of the Marianas what they want, which is a typhoon resilient network. The funny thing, which is curious about that other company, is that they seem to have no problem. They're burying fiber like crazy in Guam, and they bury fiber like crazy in Japan. So it's curious. It's curious why they seem to be hesitant to do it right here in the Marianas.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. I mean, here they can kind of play like we're the little guy, but really they're the bigger guy in this whole thing because they're this multi-billion-dollar company that's based out of Japan. They're
one of the largest they're one of the largest telecom providers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They have the resources. If they wanted to build underground fiber in the Commonwealth, they have a lot of dry powder in Japan. They could do it.
That's great. So, by the way, let's talk about that again. Like this whole idea about bringing the fiber and burying the network and all that stuff. Like you're saying that there's going to be an economic benefit out of this too. So what happens when this officially says go? If you're still that provider after this, what happens next?
Well, the next step is procurement. So we have a timeline again for folks. I mean, I don't want to get too into the weeds in it, but the Commonwealth has been broken into what we call census blocks, and there's 21 of them. So we have a timetable that we'll publish that will show in what order we plan on building out each of those 21 census blocks. So the good news is that they're going to be done. We're going to have several crews. So with regards to economic impact, we're going to be hiring a number of folks, both outside plant as well as inside folks. And we'll start building out over the next 4 years. So things will move very, very quickly because we actually have a deadline. This isn't something that we can slow roll over the next 5, 6, 7 years. Part of the grant is delivering 100% of the service within 4 years. So we have that obligation. N40 actually has that obligation. So the way we've got this designed, which is kind of nice, is that you don't have to wait for all 21 census blocks to be built in order to get this underground, this higher end service. Literally, we'll be turning up new customers, within a month or two after we start the process. So it will go fast, and people will start to see the impact almost immediately.
Well, that's incredible. All right, so now again, so there's the other guys who didn't win. They're trying to derail it. What you're saying, and if you want people to make comments on your for the buried typhoon proof cable stuff, what do you want them to do?
Well, I believe you have the email address on the screen. Email, that's the broadband office, and the broadband office, is part of the governor's office. Please speak up. Let your broadband office and all of your local officials know that you've been waiting, you've been patient. There is an opportunity, which is a once-in-a-life opportunity, to have virtually everybody in the Marianas connected with underground fiber, and we need to take advantage of it now before that opportunity disappears. And speaking personally, I mean, speaking personally on it, again, we're a telecom company. Our job is obviously telecom, but when you really take a look, and I say this genuinely, you take a look at the Commonwealth in the last 5 years. Between typhoons, COVID, tourism, businesses closing, people leaving, like trying to stop this project it just feels like kicking someone when they're down. This is a good opportunity. Let's take advantage of it. Let's use this infrastructure as the foundation for economic growth and, telework. work from home. This is really going to be unique. And when I say unique, I don't just mean unique in the Pacific. This will be a unique network, probably one of the most resilient, unique networks in the United States.
Well, and that's incredible for us. Of course, we're a big supporter of what you guys do because you support us too. For what we've got going on here at the studio. But even before that, I mean, when we started doing the broadcasting the parade for Liberation Day 3 years ago, who was there? Paul. I know you love hearing about Paul all the time, but IT&E was there for us when we started doing the baseball games 3 years ago. Who was there? IT&E. We're not charging anything. How about the election coverage over at the multipurpose center? Again, IT&E doesn't charge you a nickel, just because of the interest that you've got getting that out to the community. And I appreciate it. So of course, I'm a fan, and I used to work there. But it was to be fair, I left in 2014. That was a long time ago. I mean,
so I'll say this. So first of all, unlike others, we've been committed to the CNMI under the same ownership for 20 years. So yes, we're a telecom provider. Yes, we're a company. But after 20 years, we like to think that we're a good corporate citizen and part of the community. The second thing I'll say is this is what I have learned, which is interesting. I think there used to be a game. It's like this 4 degrees from Kevin Bacon. In my 2 years here between Guam and the Commonwealth, everybody that I've met is 1 degree away from IT&E. They've worked there. They have a sibling that's worked there, a parent that's worked there. So it's interesting, and I'm proud that we've been able to be part of so many lives.
You got Marie in the comments saying, "Good morning, Mr. Gibson." Norman, one of my fellow coworkers, he's out there in the mainland now. He said, "Name an event in the community that IT&E is not a sponsor or a supporter of. They're always there for the community."
Well, we don't sponsor any of those Docomo bus stops, so we don't do that.
There you go. But the sports teams, the leagues, the events, and the coverage of them. You guys are there for everything. And so again,
and that's part of the connections that, I mean, that's why we really sort of changed our tagline and brand to Connections That Matter, because those are all the things that are embodied by that phrase.
I was looking at the bids that came in, and so Docomo was the highest bidder. You guys were the lowest bidder, but somehow somebody who has no holdings here at all came in second place, GTA. Like, where did they come from? How did they get under somebody who's already been here for like 20 years also?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the rationale behind their bid, or Docomo's for that matter. But maybe I assume they were trying to make a play at expanding their network into the CNMI. The curious thing about the high bid, the first thing that's kind of odd about it is they bid higher than what the broadband office even had available to them, which was an unusual thing. And the second bit, which I'm sure I see this letter going around, I really haven't gotten too deep into it, seems to indicate that, the federal government doesn't have any leeway with regards to special exceptions and blah, blah, blah. You have to go with any acceptable technology, regardless of quality, just whatever's the cheapest will work. And you have to ask yourself, if they really believe that, then why do they even bother engineering and submitting a $90 million bid? So somewhere in the back of somebody's mind, they must have known that the federal government has the ability to make special exceptions. And that's exactly what they've done in the case of the Marianas, due to, the weather and the materials issue here.
Well, I definitely have a few picnic table conversation talking points that I won't get in, but I've got a few thoughts on that stuff too. Also, just a couple other comments, folks coming in. Ignacio, he's like, hopefully we can get the same speeds that you got over there in Guam. And I don't know. I think it's pretty good over here. How is there a difference?
No, we have. I mean, we have more we have more fiber here, but you'll get this. You'll get the same speeds. You'll get the same speeds that our fiber customers here in Guam enjoy. Right now, just putting aside this bead process, a lot of our customers, both residential and business customers, are actively migrating off of our DSL product to our fiber product, and they are in fact enjoying the same speeds that the folks here in Guam have. I mean, listen, while we work through this bead process, we also have a day job, so we're still constructing fiber, we're still expanding the network, we're still converting customers off of copper technology onto fiber technology. So we're not slowing, regardless of what happens with this, we're not slowing down with our mission. But I will say this to your listeners, and this is new news. One of the things that we've done as let's call it a stopgap between now and when we finish the underground network, is we've deployed ultra high speed fixed wireless. So if you're an ITE or candidly a Docomo customer in an area that we currently do not have fiber, we do have a fixed wireless product that is very affordable, and it delivers speeds almost as fast as fiber, multiple times faster than DSL. So if you're interested in that, stop by ITE or give us a call and we can tell you about that. We just turned that network up, Brad, the last week in June. So I'm not even sure we've started advertising it yet, so my marketing department's probably not going to be thrilled. But call in, ask for the new wireless product. You'll get fiber-like speeds. It takes 1 day to install. You'll see a difference.
All right, we'll reach out to them. You talk about faster than DSL. I remember watching everything start when we started we had the first smartphones here. Back we had all these HTC phones and making our way up, and then we were watching all these videos because you saw that video, the 20-year anniversary thing, but we were watching some of the old PTI videos from the Dolphin days, and when we were all excited that EVDO was the new thing, and then the air cards coming in. And then we got a push-to-talk network here we were excited about, GSM and CDMA at the same time. And now look at this. DSL is just the thing. DSL is like the new dial-up, where everybody.
Well, what's happened too is you talk about things that go out of fashion and come back. You know what has actually come back in fashion quite hard is push to talk, if you can believe it. We were sunsetting a network here in Guam that was an older push to talk, and we had some customers that absolutely required it. So we migrated onto, it doesn't matter, a Motorola solution. It's our fastest growing mobile enterprise product right now is enterprise push to talk. We deployed it. We deployed it in the Commonwealth as well. You can either get the old Nextel like walkie-talkie devices, or you can actually just put an app on your regular ITE phone and have push to talk. We even have families that are interested in push to talk between their other family members. If you told me that would be the case a year and a half ago when I started, you'd be able to knock me over with a feather. But anyway, push to talk is back, baby.
That's great. That should be the new marketing campaign. I look forward to seeing that. All right. Well, so if folks so basically this is it, what you were saying. If people want to see this get awarded as an all underground fiber all the way Typhoon Resilient Network, send a comment, and the email address is on the screen. It's cnmi.bpd@gmail.com. And you got to get it in by midnight tonight. You could do it on your phone.
Midnight tonight.
Yeah, because that's the cutoff for a public comment section.
And tell your elected officials. I mean, that's the bare minimum, do that. But listen, talk to your elected officials. Let them know. Let anybody know that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And man, we don't want to squander this. This is going to be pretty cool. So anyone who's willing to listen, I'm happy. I'm happy to spread the gospel, so to speak.
That's great. Hey, and again,
and by the way, if any of your listeners have any questions or want to reach out to me directly. So I'm happy to meet with folks or speak with them, or if they have questions or concerns. It's a small island. I'll be there next week. I'd be happy to sit down and chat with anybody.
Okay, great. And that also goes for, by the way, if you like getting that sports coverage. Again, we're doing baseball. We're doing when the soccer stuff happened, we came out there for that. I believe you guys are also taking care of the folks over at a gym as well. And then, like, I'm telling you, when there's a sporting event that comes up and we need something built quick, or there's an event that's coming up and we need something built quick with the high-speed solution, your guys get it done. Paul Guerrero, there it is. I said his name again. If I say it one more time, he'll magically appear.
Is he paying you by the name drop? I'm trying to figure that out.
Paul Guerrero. All right. So anything else before we wrap it up?
No. Once again, yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks for the folks who tuned in. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a brighter digital future for the Marianas.
All right. Well, thanks so much. You're hearing it from himself, the CEO of ITNE, asking you to submit some